With the advancement of AI, it is estimated by 2025, 85 million jobs will become obsolete and 97 million new jobs will be created. If not understood as a tool of empowerment now, women will be disproportionately affected by these changes. Women in Cloud is a community-led economic development organization dedicated to giving women a powerful platform to accelerate as industry leaders. Through our global network, we serve 100,000 women in 67 countries with access to policy advocacy, scholarship, and accelerators aiming to solve economic access challenges.
Viewers, today we have a very interesting personality, I must say, Chaitra Vedulupalli. She is greatly into empowering women, and I believe she has clocked something like $1 billion businesses all across the world with her endeavor, Women in Cloud. So, to know, without wasting much time, and to know more about Women in Cloud, let's straight away get across to Chaitra Vedulupalli in the US. Welcome to the show, Chaitra, and good evening to you.
Thank you so much for having me, Sergi. It's really good to know you and also be connected through Minoti to you has been really a blessing.
Yeah, Chaitra, to start with, let our viewers know something about your background, like your schooling, your college, etc. What is it all in India? Now that you're settled in the States.
Sure, sure. Well, let me take you back from Bangalore because that's where I originate. And my dad was in army, so we traveled all over India. So, well, it's a typical journey of going through all over India, studying and doing my engineering. I got married and then moved to US. Within, I would say, 6 months, I was here. I stayed at home for I would say 2.5 years, watching TV and taking care of the house. And then I decided to go back to work, and it was probably the best thing I did.
Great. Yeah. Okay. What was the first work or assignment that you took up?
At work?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I did because I had an electrical engineering background. It was in 1995. At that time, Windows 95 was the launch that I saw. It was pretty intriguing. So I wanted to kind of go and work for Microsoft. That was kind of my dream company to work for. So went and took some database classes. And then that got me into Oracle because I couldn't get into Microsoft. So I interviewed at Oracle and got into there and got into the consulting side of the business.
Okay.
And that allowed me to kind of work with the customers and really work on how to implement really big technologies. And that allowed me to really learn licensing, which allowed me to work into global practices and pricing and licensing of very big deals. That allowed me to go into the partnering side of the business because I understood how all the deals are done, how the revenue is created, and how the contracts are put together. So I spent a lot of time in the partner channel. And from there, I moved into Microsoft to really lead the infrastructure for go-to-market for partners. So we kind of built as a integration of all, or like consolidation of all the partner programs, which allowed us to kind of support over 600,000 partners at that time. So
Basically,
they
the
used
art
to
of
work with Microsoft.
basically the art of handling businesses.
What did he say?
Basically, the art of handling businesses.
Yes, I think, art, I would say yes, but, mostly technology businesses, whether
Yeah.
it's consulting services or product. Absolutely.
How tough was it being new to the States? Number one, number two, being a lady. Was there any gender issues?
I would say, in those days, I would say because I came from the army background, we had to really move from one city, one location to another.
Yeah.
So the adaptability was always there. So we had to make new friends. We had to figure out the terrain, the locality, the people. So that actually came very handy for me. So when I moved to US,
Yeah.
The thing which was everything was easy in the senses the moving, it was very exciting because I was coming to a new country. But the hard thing was access to things was extremely hard because you didn't know how to ride so fast because the car was so, these freeways in LA was so fast, like I couldn't drive that fast. So it took me a while to learn driving. Then going and kind of getting a job was not easy because you didn't have visa to work there. So we had to really figure out. Language was a barrier because, what you say in English in India versus what you say here was a lot of, you had to really think about it. So from a standpoint of transition, there were like multiple things you had to do. And one of the thing is when in India, like when you come out of the house, you had always people around. You could say hello
Yeah.
to a lot of people. But in US, it's not like that. When you come out, there's nobody to say hello to. It would be only certain time in the
Even
evening or
now,
early.
even now, even now, it's the same
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. It's I think it's a cultural thing because everybody's working very busy. They're in a big houses, and once they come in, they just come inside the house and they're doing like they don't kind of go out and hang out like the
Yeah.
way it happens in India. So those were kind of a lot of cultural transition. But in 1995, I would say I don't think we had that gender kind of issue like you talk about it right now. At that time, performance was important. How you're solving the problem was important. Yes, when you used to enter, you would see different, right? You would be like, your voice was not acknowledged. Your
Yeah.
ideas were not acknowledged. So at that time, I didn't know what were the reasons, but I knew how to convince people because the background from army allowed me to kind of, say, yeah, this is how you go get it things done. So you knew the hierarchical process very well. And that came very, very handy because I knew how the decisions are made and who
Yeah.
to go talk to make the decision.
Okay. And then how did you get into this remaining cloud project?
I would say I would say 8 years ago, I decided to leave the corporate world and really, really think about what my next chapter in life looks like. So I said, is I'm going to be an entrepreneur because I want to try that one. And you can do it in US. I don't know whether you can do it in India, but here you can do it very easily. I was like, yeah, the career pathway to become a vice president or, higher up. I don't think, that was kind of motivating me in general. So I was like, what would be something that I always wanted to? I always wanted to do a business. I always had an itch for business. And I always wanted to see what the other side of the world looks like because it's a lot of deal making, a lot of relationships building, less politics. It's a lot of collaboration that happens. I like that piece of being on the other side. So I said, why, how about I do and see if this part of my life is something
Less
good.
less
Uh,
politics, you said. That's very interesting.
yeah, it is definitely less politics than being in the corporate world for sure, because it's very
Hmm.
hierarchical. Here is more collaborative, like you have to bring
Yeah.
all of the people together. Um, so working for like 1.5 years and like trying to figure out how to really get your solutions into the cloud marketplaces and using cloud, I realized there was not a lot of doors getting opened. It was just extremely hard. So I was like spending time with my friends at Microsoft and I was saying, we have like barriers. It's an access problem. It's until we address the access problem, we really cannot solve any of the biases or, systematic gaps. But more to solve the access problem, you have to be ready. You truly have to know your uh, fundamentals. You need to understand what your goals are, how you go about it, what your offers look like, what your go to market looks like. So you have to get yourself ready. And that particular corporate readiness was not available. So we said, how about we democratize economic access and create that platform? And that's how we coined the first, vision for the tech industry, where we say, let's go democratize access, because that is something we knew how to do it well.
Chaitra, how did you start with? Let's take up a case study so that our viewers can easily understand and comprehend this access to market, go to market, economic empowerment, all these technical terms.
Sure,
If you
sure,
can
sure.
give a couple
Uh,
of case studies.
Sure, sure. Let me kind of start with if someone is going to get a job in the tech, right? Like if a woman has to get trained, to get trained in tech, and you want to help them earn like a $70,000 a year, it's not just a paycheck, right? You have to, because it helps her with the family, it helps with the stability, it helps with confidence. So now, let's imagine a mom, they will learn new AI skills and you give them a $70,000 job. And now she's able to take care of her family, pay for her kids, and then buy healthier food and support her parents. And that's kind of what the narrative is for economic access. So if we have to get somebody to come close to a job, we have to get them skilled, we have to get them certified, we have to get them ready for job interview, we have to recommend for them to, whether you can vouch for them that they are doing really good. So there are multiple steps you have to go through. So that's kind of like a workforce development pillar we had to establish. So we said, how about we democratize or distribute over, distribute certifications for women because that one was not accessible at that time. So we worked with Microsoft and said, can you give us access to the Microsoft certification curriculum and also exam voucher if you pull all that together along with
Yeah,
all the mentors so we can help these women go through this training, and on the other side we can have companies who can hire them because now they have those certifications and they can do the job. Then it's a perfect solution and it's an access problem, so as we solve the problem for them. So that's from a career perspective. From a business perspective, I have to build a tech solution. So I need to have access to technology like Azure Cloud or a AI or a Copilot. So I need free licenses to really build my technology. Otherwise, it's too expensive for you
yeah.
to do. Otherwise, I have to raise money. So kind of giving access for the tech. Then you have to hire people who are certified, people who can come and build the solution using the technology. And then you have to take that product, whatever you have built, you have to create a very compelling customer offer that how this product that they can use and it can solve some of their problems. But to do all that, you have to do promotion, like, how you bring in front of the customer, like events or um, uh, uh, any kind of social media campaign. You have to do a lot of the promotions. And then you have to do publicity. That's where the media comes in and they do the
Yeah.
publicity of the solution and the case study. And then they have to build the partners to really take the product into their ecosystem. So it's a bunch of I would say points that they have to go through, or gateways they have to go through. So what we have done is identified that entire roadmap. And as they're going through that journey, we'll say, okay, you need access to funding. Here is the VC you need to talk to. If you need access to technology, here is all the licenses you have. If you need access to market, here is a cloud marketplace. You need to list your offer. Here is a promotion. So you can use our engine to promote that. So we can host an event. If you need access to partners, here are some partners you should be talking to and taking your product to go to market. So that's
So
kind of how we do.
basically you started up as a facilitator of all these
Yes,
uh,
yes,
uh, platforms.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
now that you explained the theoretical part of it, let's come to practicals. Number one, how difficult was it to crack your first client because you were new to the business, this kind of a thing, handling Microsoft, Oracle, their client, their partnership is different kettle of fish. Today, I mean, you have to be on your own. And you also have to get out to get business for yourself. So, how difficult was it? And give me a couple of case studies. A particular lady, you don't have to name her, XYZ came to with this kind of problem, and these solutions that you offered her, and this is what she achieved.
Sure. So when I moved from corporate into being an entrepreneur, I didn't realize how difficult it is to pull all the pieces together.
That's
I was
what I'm assuming.
extremely
Yeah,
naive. Yeah, I
yeah,
was very naive. I was like, oh, they are my friends. I'll talk to them. No, no, no. It was not that. I had to put together all the pieces. And it
yeah.
took me 6 months to get to my offer, right? Because I just had to go find the right target customer, I have to meet with them, I had to understand, I had to create an offer, I had to do a proof of concept before even commercializing that product. So I had to really go through it. So it was a very long process.
So while you're
And
doing the
then
market surveys, when you're doing market surveys studies, how do you assess the need, the niche for your product? Was there?
I'm more easier than that. I put in like an Excel spreadsheet. I'll put in all the names of the people I want to talk to, and then I'll
Okay,
reach out to them and have a conversation. Because when you're doing is market study, you can do like a big market study, but when it comes to like a solution study, you need to really talk to the customer and identify your ideal customer profile, who that customer who's going to use this software or your service every single day, and who's ready to pay whatever you're going to ask them to pay for it, because you need to understand the value you're creating and what they are willing to pay. That particular product and market fit needs to come together. So that was probably the hardest thing for
yes,
any founder, is to find that product and market fit. So for me also, it was probably the hardest learning. Sitting in the corporate is like, oh, you need to do product and market fit. I was like, yeah, but when you're doing it, you realize, man, it is more harder than you can actually
yeah.
do.
You have an established brand with you. It's much
Exactly,
easier to
exactly,
push yourself through.
exactly,
When you're on your
exactly.
own, it doesn't happen so easily.
Exactly. But the
Yeah.
thing, that one was easy because I came from corporate. I had lots of people I knew. So I could literally pick up the phone, sit down with them, have a coffee, and then go
So the
through
right
the entire.
contacts, as you say in
Yeah,
India,
yeah, the
the right
context
contacts.
helped.
Yeah. Yeah. So what? Yeah,
Exactly.
case study. Let's take up a case
So
study.
because of that kind of understanding from a product and market fit, that was great. The second piece of the hard part was access to funding. Because when you cannot go directly to a VC to say, I need money. They want to see an ROI of what you're going to bring to the table.
Yeah.
So I had to really sit in their shoes as an investor and say, what are they looking for and how we need to create a solution that drives profitability. So it was one of the other places, and I realized is I don't think I want to go to VC all the time to raise the money. I think I want to have is customers pay for the innovation rather than just kind of drive the funding from a VC. Early in the journey, it didn't make sense at all. Like, because you could create the revenue you need and you slowly drive the business growth consistently. So one of my mentor, he said, is Chaitra, don't worry about driving 10% growth year over year. Just focus on 1% growth every month. That's it. If you focus on 1% growth from one month to another, you will reach all your goals, because
Yeah.
now it is not stressful for you to focus on the big number, focus on the micro number. And it was so easy. And our goal is like, how do we get to that 1% increment from last month to this month? So it was much easier. So that kind of tricks and trade was very helpful. So
We are yet to
that
get to
was
case study. Okay. Which was the first customer and how difficult was it to crack her, or how did you help her achieve her goals?
Sure. My first customer was a customer from Japan, actually.
Oh,
And they wanted to build a technology solution for selling their products in US. And they had a difficulty in kind of converting like a Japanese content into English content. So there was a translation required.
okay.
So I was able to find kind of the translator to really figure out how do you take their content, turn into English content using like an automation tool, and then have their product and their offers listed in like a marketplace so people can easily purchase their product. And that was the first infrastructure we built on cloud. And it was cloud when you had to buy cloud on tokens. So the funny story is we built the technology and one day everything disappeared. Like, and we are like, where did the website go? It was there yesterday, but it's not here today, because the tokens were over. So no one reminded us that we needed to
Oh,
fulfill the token, because it was not pay as you go model. It was just you have to buy tokens. And we realized, oh, this kind of technology you should never buy, which is on tokens. So we were hoping that the pay as you go model is probably, we were waiting for it. Once that came, we were the first adopter of that technology, and Rackspace had introduced at that time. So it was probably one of the best learning on how technology shifts happen, because I went from floppy disk to client
yeah,
server to token to pay as you go. And now it's like, AI on demand, like, anytime I need, I can have access to it. So it's been pretty fun to see the licensing model changes.
great. Uh, how many clients you built over the past 8 years?
We have a pretty significant, we have served over 5,000 companies,
Okay.
and we work with a lot of companies on the go-to-market plan, depending upon what offers they need, how they want to go and go online. Some of them are in retainers, some of them just come and go.
Are they all mostly based out of US, or you have Indian and European clients
Um,
also?
So I have like a lot of companies who are in US, and there are also companies who want to establish their business in US. They usually work with us because they really want to understand the go-to-market in US, because US is a very powerful market for most of the companies from outside.
So all these companies are women-led because it's a crowd
No,
women.
no.
Oh,
So I right now in Women in Cloud, I serve mostly all the women-led businesses or women who are in the, on a decision-making role within the company. So they come, they go through the entire accelerator, try to find the right offer, and then get onto the marketplaces, and then help them build their go-to-market plan with the hyperscalers, so they actually can generate their leads and convert those leads into customers.
so do you
So now
also
I've
help
started
men?
serving
Do you
them
men?
more.
You also help men, or it's only purely women, women, and
No,
women?
no, no. I do help both. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't discriminate. I love is ideas, and ideas needs to,
Yeah.
taken care of. I'm a mom of two boys. I'm not the one who'll say, oh, there has to be. But Women in Cloud was really focused on kind of addressing kind of a need in the market. But from a economic access perspective, and someone comes and say, we need access to this one, we are very, very welcoming to all genders. We focus on the access narrative rather than more of a gender narrative.
Okay. You talking about ideas. Ideas today. It's all about ideas. When in a new business that you start, it has to be an idea that grows into business. Any interesting ideas that your women or men clients have come up with that clicked in a jiffy, or uh, on the other extreme, they had a tough time in convincing their target that this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to go about, and uh, the difficult path that they had to go through.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of great ideas, and I've seen great ideas not even have legs because of the attitude of a founder, right? So, what I look for is, does an idea change the paradigm on how we are going to live, how we are going to do business in the world? Does it make a difference? So I'm always looking for what is that shift that they are making you do. So I'm
Mhm.
always looking for that. So I've seen a lot of solutions in cyber. I've seen a lot of solutions in healthcare. I have seen a lot of solution in AI, movie. I have like lots of solution. But what I've also seen is the ideas do not take its leg, because it just stays like an idea, but not becomes like a powerful idea like a Microsoft or Google or any other brands. is because of the founder mindset. That's usually one of the things, because they don't believe in democratization of that technology. They get stuck with their own mindset and issues. And there's a lot of partner issues that happens between each other. So a lot of infighting. And
Yeah.
that idea never takes the legs. So it's really someone who's determined, who's very clear. It's the right time. Everyone is asking for it. And then you see like the adoption happens, and they really ensure during the adoption phase, they're teaching people how to use it effectively. So the skilling also happens really well. So right now we are in the same phase for AI. The reason why OpenAI was so easy was it democratized, intelligence, and
Yeah.
it was so easy to use, and everyone jumped in because it started to give an immediate help. And right now it is potentially going to be the next electricity for human being, and that intelligent is easily accessible. So I've not seen anything like open AI kind of idea, but I've seen a lot of ideas around women's health, which is around the menopause or hormonal health or infant care. I've seen a lot of amazing ideas that are coming up, which has seen like 10 years ago, but now I'm seeing a lot for the safety and the health and well-being of women.